Hello and welcome to this tutorial about Google Apps. It's meant to be a quick introduction to show you some of the common and not so common tools that Google offers. It's supposed to whet your palate so that you can go in and really discover and explore a tool that you are eventually going to create a tutorial for, as outlined in this particular course unit. So I will briefly start off by saying that I've already got a Google account, and you will have to create a Google account as well for the purpose of this course. You can abandon it or orphan it after you've finished the course, and that's fine. But I think you might find some things useful. My Part 1 course did do one of the tools, which was Google Documents. That was one of the first tools that I introduced, but we're going to go into the host of tools here. Across the top of the page, you know that Google, of course, offers its web search, its image search. It also does its video search. And of course, as you go through, if you viewed the presentation, The Art of Search, you will know that there are great ways to search these big three: images, videos, and the web. And you must know by now that Google does own YouTube and that Google videos will no longer be a part of Google's repertoire because they won't get rid of the YouTube brand. It's far too large and far too popular. Google Maps, of course, is a very useful tool. I might want to stay away from talking about this one too much because it's so commonly used. And then there's Google News. Google News is, of course, front and center. They're trying to find new ways to bring the news right to your desktop. There are ways that they can do that. You can create streams from Google News so that it appears on your desktop when you log in. And then here's the beginning of some of these little applications like Google Translate, which can be quite controversial for language instructors all over the world. And I understand why. And most language instructors will say that they don't wish their students to have such easy access to a translation. And it's quite a heated topic, but I would like to consider that if you do teach another language, a student like myself really needed to see the translation in order to understand the breakdown of the conjugation of verbs, for example, or even simply talking about the different formation of nouns, whether they refer to a masculine or feminine. These are the things that some learners need. Start with the end in mind, so to speak, and that's a possibility. It's just a tool, and we all have to learn how to use the tool effectively to manage our students' learning. Gmail, of course, is available. I use that, as you've gotten to know. That's the account that I load, and I love to use it often. But here is where we begin to look at here's where we begin to look at some of the great things that Google offers. So let me just pop into this is my Google, but I want to pop into the Google home page because I strayed away from that, and I want to show you this More section that is very little used. Under More, we have Books, Finance, Scholar, Blogs, YouTube, Calendar, and so on. And each one of these tools stands on its own quite well. So I'll give you a quick perusal, and I won't spend more than 2 or 3 minutes going through. The beauty of the video is you can pause at any time and just play around on your own, but I'm going to go quickly just to keep the tutorial short. Start with Google Books. Did you know that Google has huge licensing agreements with many publishers all over the world to display their books almost in their entirety? This is a book called The Giver, which I taught when I was a grade 7 teacher. And here it is online in its entirety in digital format. It's basically been scanned. And if your school subscribes to something like a Kurzweil Reader or Premiere, you can actually have this read aloud, which talk about assistive technology in combination with Google really working. Google is working on something called Google Voice, which will eventually be able to read this stuff to you. Google Books offers a host of magazines, and let's take a look at Life magazine, for example. You can take it all the way back to 1935, and you can take a look inside each and every one of these each and every one of these magazines, and you can do a search inside the magazine. You can click on read this magazine, and here it is. Talk about doing something about media literacy and encouraging the growth of the critical eye and how censorship has changed. This is applicable to students grades 3 and up, comparing photography from one era to the next. It's almost 100 years ago. You're talking about 70 years of development and change, and how have we advertised? How do we write? What pictures are allowed and what pictures are not? So it's a great way to scroll back into time and see what's available for study. Google Finance, Google Scholar, for example, is a website or is a web search that's dedicated only to scholarly articles. It's not meant for just anybody to come in and peruse, because they are written in the jargon of that particular discipline. So cell structure, for example, is just my layman way of looking for something, but you can see right away all of these articles become very complicated very quickly, and that's what they're designed to be. So under Scholar, I can look at articles in patents, articles in excluding patents. I can ask what time, a time frame. I want to make sure that it includes citations. I can create an email alert if I'm doing a research study for my master's or my PhD, so that Google can communicate with me every time an article pertaining to my topic comes up, and it communicates that way. Google Blogs, we'll be doing our own blog. We did blogs in part 1. We'll be doing another professional blog in part 2. You know about YouTube. You know about the calendar is phenomenal. It's a great way to organize the family, because you can create a calendar and you can share that with so many people. It's absolutely incredible, so that your whole family will be aware of what you're doing and where you are. So you can see here, this is my calendar, and you can choose to share or choose not to share, depending on what you wish. So besides Google Calendar, if I click on even more, which is what I just did, let me just show you what I just did. Let me scroll back here. So I went to more, and we talked about Translate. We talked about Scholar and blogs. When you click on even more, it opens up their entire arsenal of tools. And this is where my challenge, this is your task here, is to pick one of these tools and to explore it. Now, I did include Google Earth. Google Earth is a free download, and here it is. Absolutely exceptional tool that you can use. There's Google Books. There's something called Google Desktop. There's Google Calendar on the right. And here's the one that's my favorite, and that's Google Docs. And this is what you'll be using for this particular presentation. Google Docs is an online version of all of Microsoft Office. When you sign in to your Google account and you click on more and then even more, you will come to this website here, this page for Google Docs. And look at this. I can create a new document, presentation, spreadsheet, or even a form or a drawing. I'll show you briefly. This is the document that you'll be starting, and it looks and feels just like Microsoft Word. I will give it a title. And my title, I click up on the title, and the title will be hello, and click OK. And I can choose what font I want. I can insert a link. I can insert a picture. I can organize it by numerically. I can change the center, justification. I can do whatever I wish. But the beauty of this document, so let me get it rolling here. The beauty of this document is that I can share it. I can click on this share button, and actually I can add names here, and I can give you permission to only view it or edit it. And I can choose 100 names, and 100 people could work on this document. And this is the best part. It's real time. So if I have another person on this at the same time, They can type as I'm typing from the comfort of their own home. So kids don't have to say, oh, I'm grounded, I can't do my homework. Oh, yes, you can. You can do group work from home, and this is just one way. So that's Google Docs. There are thousands of tutorials on about Google Docs online. I can create a new presentation. So take a look at this. This is going to look exactly like Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, so there's my title. Here's my slide setup, everything I need. I can create a new spreadsheet. And lo and behold, a spreadsheet that looks identical to Microsoft Excel. All free, all shareable. Okay, and what else I can do is create a new form. I can create a survey and a form. Sample question. Here's my text. Here's my answer. By now, if your head isn't hurting, I'm surprised and shocked. Everything gets saved automatically. You never have to download it unless you want it. So for example, I can, as soon as I let go, as you can see here, it's saved 2 minutes ago. As soon as I type something new, so let me try here. This is something new. So here it is, save now, but if I leave it, it will save automatically. There it is, it's saved seconds ago. Final thing I want to show you is that I can see a revision history, which means if I have a group of 5 students on this, I can actually see who contributed what and what changes were made. Never tell your students you have that ability. And the other thing too is I can download it as a Word or as text or as a PDF. There's so many great tools. But anyway, I don't want to give too much away. I want you to try it out, and see what you like. So good luck with that. Do your own research. And again, feel free, pick one of your favorite topics to do and create a tutorial. Thank you very much.